For joining us today on episode 1 of the Socially Awkward talk show centered around race and identity. So just we can start by sharing a little bit about your background and where you're from and why this was an important conversation for you to join.
Oh man, I'm from a small town called Brackendale. Probably never heard of it.
Never.
No.
I don't even know. Is that like in Canada? Or?
Yeah, it's actually just between Squamish and Whistler. Now,
I didn't know there were towns between there.
Oh, well, it's it's so small. It's I think when I grew up there was 900 people.
Mm-hmm.
But now since the Olympics, it's part of Squamish. There's no difference.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
I don't even when I go back there now, I don't recognize anything. It's almost like a city.
Nice.
Low key Calgary maybe.
Okay, Calgary. I've never been, but yes. So you're from a small town. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so how was that like? So what is your background like? What's your racial identity or ethnicity? And yeah, why is this important for you?
I'm definitely a mixed breed. I'm Jamaican, I'm Maori. I got I think Irish or Scottish or something like that in there.
Like a mutt.
Yeah. I definitely identify as Jamaican and Maori. Those are the two I think features that I'm identified with, and that's kind of the culture that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
If I could say I grew up with any culture, because
Mm-hmm.
growing up in Brackendale, I was the only black kid, so it was I didn't really understand why I was getting treated the way I was getting treated at the time. So it was just it took me a while to learn about what race and what I how I identify, how important that is, and what that means to the world and what that means to me. That stuff came way later, not until I moved to Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel it's still it's not a struggle with what do I identify with now. It's more of how do I fit in? You know what I mean? It's almost how can I just be me and not have the weight of that pressure to be something else.
Be something. So when you said something important, you said how I was being treated.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that treatment?
It was man, it was weird. I didn't understand it, and it's just every time I get into it, sometimes I get a little emotional about it, and it's just it's difficult. So I'd be athletic, and they would just say, oh, it's because you're black, and I didn't really understand. I had no idea what the hell that meant. But it was right away, it was expectations were put on me, you should be good at this and this, and bad at this and this. And then once I started to realize that oh, I'm always in school, I'm always in these classes. I have no idea why. I just kind of these are my friends. There's people around me that visually look like me too, but when I go play on my sports teams, none of those friends are there. You know what I mean? Now I have it's a whole nother version of the school, a whole nother group of students that I've never seen before throughout my whole day. Now I'm playing basketball with these guys, or now I'm playing soccer with these guys.
So being athletic, being good at some things that you were good at, you felt like you were put in a box. You should be good at this, and you should do this because of your identity, and you're only athletic because you're black.
Yeah. And so I would be okay, this is, I guess that's who I am, that's who I have to be, kind of thing. And then you don't even open yourself up to other doors. You're not even you're not looking for them. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to be for me as a kid, science was my passion. It sounds weird, but
no, I have science. Quantum physics is my thing. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, it's just I loved astronomy, and I wanted to learn so much more about the stars and stuff like that. But sports are always no, go do this, go do that, you should spend time here. And it's okay. And then there was other areas where I'm casted off, where because I'm light skinned or I'm fair skinned or something like this, now it's I'm not black enough to hang out with the black
I
blacks.
was just gonna ask you how it was for the mix. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not white, so I can't hang out here. So I definitely found myself alone a lot of times. Growing up in a small town with maybe 3 or 4 black kids, 1 mixed kid, and everyone's white, and it's just okay.
That's a very isolating experience.